What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Happy Friday the 13th. We're going to have a wild ride in these markets. Got some turmoil going on that is driving the markets all over the place. We're going to talk a lot about that. Take a look at what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like the one that I'm throwing up here right now. 55% off at Top 1 Futures with code RDF. Let's hop on to the charts. I've got over $1 million in sim capital, instant sim funded capital, loaded up with these straight to funded sim pro accounts from Top 1 Futures. We're going to be taking a look at ES here, primarily off the 1 minute chart, but this is the Project X platform. Got the market opening up right now, 9:33 a.m. Eastern. Popping to the upside after a pretty gnarly sell-off. Let's make sure I can see you guys. You guys can hear me. Good morning, Ralph. What's going on? What is up, chat? Look at that. 13 viewers on here for Friday the 13th. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble for sure. It's going to be a problem. So yeah, let's get zoomed out here for a minute. We'll take a look at the daily, see what we got going on. Bookmap's looking wild right now. We got orders moving all around. About a minute ago, right as I was coming on the stream, I saw like 2,000 lots. Yeah, there's like 2,000 on the book up above price. That's looking pretty interesting. This is going to be an interesting Friday, I think, to say the least. An interesting Friday. Like I was mentioning before I hopped on, man, we got a lot of not good stuff going on in the world, like plane crashes and human suffering, like war, turmoil, gnarly stuff. I don't like to make light of that at all, and I think anybody that's affected by that or lives lost, I feel for that and pray for you. What's up, Scott? What's up, Luz? What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. So let's hop onto the charts, take a look at what we got going on. Let's jump out to the daily. I like to take a look at these daily candles. Not so much for this super duper high time frame trend, although we know we are pushing to the upside here, but more the price action, like day over day, week over week, I think can be a pretty easy read. You know, maybe help kind of anticipate what that daily candle is going to look like, or just at least look at what they are looking like and then react to it. So this is a pretty gnarly one. This is a pretty gnarly one. No wick to the upside, like at all. Let's just take a look at that. Really zoomed in. Yeah, completely no wick to the upside. Real long wick to the downside. We sold off on news, not on news, on attacks in the Middle East last night, and that is since rebounding so far. If I zoom into the 1 minute, we can see what that looked like from yesterday's session, right? Pretty bullish, although choppy overall. Did start to sell up here. I took a short late into the afternoon up here. Chopped below VWAP, and then what is this? Right around I think this was like 8 o'clock last night. Yeah, right around that time frame. Started to sell off really aggressively on that information coming in. All the way into the evening. Since then, Asia, London, we've started to push up above VWAP. You can see we got a really nice kind of clean channel trend to the upside here, pushing back up towards the 20s. This was a zone I had marked from early in the morning that I'm probably going to get rid of, but we'll take a look at some 15-minute zones because we got a lot of movement out of price. We got some volatility here for sure. I keep an eye on the 5-minute ATR every once in a while for ES. On a separate chart. I've been doing that for a while. It's not terrible, but we definitely had some movement overnight. Like I said, bookmap looking pretty wild. We got a lot of movement going on. Orders to the upside and downside getting moved around. Could be a little bit dicey. As always, I'm gonna stay patient off the open. But just taking a look at where this is, where we're opening up. We're back into yesterday's candle range, right? We got prior day high, prior day low right here. Overnight low way down here. You know, we are already up 78 points in ES off of that. So, you know, pretty wild movement. Not the wildest I've seen, but definitely not what we've seen the last couple days. Prior day high up here at 60.51 and a quarter. We got some highs from Wednesday, the 11th up here, all the way up to the 72s, 73s. Let's see what was actually the close on this one. 74 3/4. So this is going to be interesting if we start to push all the way back up to the upside. I'm going to yeah, I'm going to get rid of this zone for now. Although I think it could be an area that's tested up into the 60-20s, right? Kind of just the top end of some of this consolidation. You can see some lows put in here, some highs, some lows put in here before we were pushing higher. I could see that as an interesting area if we continue to push, but it's close to overnight high and prior day high. So I'm also going to be just looking at bookmap for that. You know what? Let's leave it on there for now. To the downside, we start to sell back off. We got VWAP over here. I don't know that I need another zone in this area. I could see potentially only a return down to this level. Again, just coming off of structure, coming off of the volume profile. So I'm going to go ahead and mark something just because this is some big movement. So I'm going to mark some zones from higher time frames, right? This way when I'm, that's really not it. This way when I'm really zoomed in on the 1 minute, I can get a feel for what's going on. We know prior day low over here had some reaction. That's in line with all of this craziness right here. Area of high volume. I'll throw that as a zone down around the 59.50 level. Big round psychological number. Area of high volume before that overnight low. And to the downside, I got another zone here getting closer to that 9.15. I don't know that we get that much movement. We had a lot of movement last night. We're completely rebounding right now, pushing right back up. I'm interested to see where we go from here. I'm not going to jump into anything, as I never jump into anything, right? Let the market open up a little bit, hang out for the first at least 5 to 10 minutes, if not the first 15, kind of see what we get out of the market. Pushing the upside, coming into the 60-15s, a lot of liquidity right here. This is where we had 2,000 on the book. That's gone. That's already pulled. But looks like we're going to try to trade out these 60-15s. I'm interested to see if we react up here. This is not a bad... like I just said, don't want to jump into anything. 9:39. Yeah, I'd like to give it another minute. We start to crack to the upside here. I could consider a really aggressive short. But I'm also cautious because finishing this Yap Fest to start the morning. We got news today. We got red folder, prelim, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's coming up in 20 minutes. It is a red folder high impact news event. It's not a CPI or, Fed rate or Jerome Powell speaking. It's not, that bad, but it is a red folder news event. So that is a reason for caution. So I don't know that I want to jump in. I would prefer not to be in before that and be holding through red folder news, but we're going to watch it play out. We'll see. We'll see. To the upside, I'm interested in the short. Same play that you've watched me take day over day and work out pretty nicely. Played really nicely yesterday. Very quick scalp to the downside. Put up a little over $4,000 across these accounts in a couple minutes. That was pretty sweet. We'll see if we can't keep the win streak rolling, man. I don't want to jinx it. It's Friday the 13th, but we'll take our wins on the chin. We'll take our losses on the chin. We'll just we'll let the odds play out over time. So let's see what we got rolling here. Do we want to come back down and hang out around the 6,000s? Do we want to trade out this 15s right here? Again, decent amount of liquidity right up above this level of structure that we're just putting in here, coming into the open. To the downside, we start selling off. We could quickly move right back down to VWAP. That would kind of negate this aggressive short that I'm looking at right here. But I'm not going to be impatient. I'm going to wait. 941. Yeah, if we get this push to the upside, I might try it. A crack past the 15s, maybe towards the 20s. I might try a really aggressive short right off the open. I would potentially be holding this thing through red folder news. So this is one that I would definitely run with half risk. Like if I have to take a rip my face off stop loss, first thing in the morning on a Friday, I'd like to give myself a second trade. So I would do this with one mini, not the 2 or potentially 3, even in the other accounts that I am sizing up to. So let's see. But good morning, chat. What's up, Scott? What's going on? Aaron, good morning. Happy Friday the 13th. Let's see what we get on this beautiful Friday. You guys are sleeping. We only got a few people on here this morning. It's all right. Maybe everybody decided to just put risk off and not come trade after this large move. I could definitely see that. Again, guys, if you are trading today, not financial advice, not telling you what to do, right? I'm an idiot from YouTube. I don't have it all figured out, but I would probably structure your risk. I don't know. I might set a stop loss. I don't know. I might think about how you're going to manage your downside and CYA, cover your ass, as they say in the markets. That's probably where I would have my focus today. I would think about sizing, think about your risk management, think about where you're going to place your stop losses. And when you put risk on today, I would fully accept that stop loss level and then some. We know that price can move very fast during, headlines and high impact events like this. And you can get slipped. You can suffer some serious slippage here in the futures market. It's not as common as, Forex and CFDs and all that nonsense, but it happens. If price wants to jump in a direction, you can definitely be slipped. Few ticks, few points. So I would structure your risk accordingly for sure. So let's see what we get here. Shooting a message real quick, guys. We're watching this market kind of chop here coming into the 9:45 a.m. time frame. Checking some messages. Let's see. Sending another message, man. Try to answer some of these as this stuff is rolling. How you guys doing this morning? What are we thinking? What's your bias if you're coming in? And we got some selling pressure right there. Looks like we want to come down through these 6,000s where we got some liquidity to the downside, right below price here. We might want to try it to the downside, man. But let me know what you guys are thinking. Thinking long? You thinking short? Where's your head on this one? Well, everybody else is waking up. No bias until after 10 a.m. After news. Good morning. New signal. Wait for VWAP and VWAV. Don't know what that is. Not a huge fan, but I'm 2 for 2. Need more tea leaves. Scott's working on his tea leaves. Nice. Doing good so far. Got 5 seconds before the open. Ran it up. Tight stop loss. Made 950 on that run. Very nice. Good afternoon to my guys it's afternoon on the other side of the world. Ralph waiting on consumer sentiment. Yeah, we got 10 a.m. news coming. This looks like we might want to just kind of chop here, right? We got red folder news. Good morning, Wolf. What's going on? We got red folder news coming in about 13 minutes, coming up pretty soon here. So it's reason for caution. If we got an aggressive pop to the upside like this on this movement, I could consider short, right? Whoa, I was hoping to get rid of that. Usually price doesn't move back in time like that, but maybe today. You never know. I was considering short something along those lines, just deeper up into this push, area of high volume coming off of kind of some market structure here. Not kind of, some market structure here. Aggressive kind of mean reversion trade back down towards VWAP, back down towards areas of high volume. Prior day low where we chopped a little bit, tested multiple times to support and resistance. I could have seen a trade like that. Would have given me a way to structure risk up here and say, hey, if we just blast all the way up through, overnight high, I'm dead wrong getting short down here. We're not going to revert at all. We're just going to push to the upside, but we're not doing that. So first trade idea is kind of just sitting patient. We're not getting that test of the 20s past the 15s, filling liquidity up here, which is also on bookmap. Yet, maybe returning down to where we have some levels down below at the 85s and 75s, the 985s, 975s. We got some liquidity down here around prior day low, around VWAP. I could see a move back down there, but we got it here first. And if I'm going to take an aggressive trade this way, just like yesterday and the day before and the day before that, actually, I think every one of them was a short trade just like this week. I got to wait. Got to wait for my level to get hit. If it doesn't come, doesn't come. I just hang tight. So let's see. Let's see. And even if I wait and even if my level gets hit, it doesn't mean I don't get my stop run and, take an immediate L. That's part of the game. I've had some solid green days. Just quick one trade. Not always so quick because Tuesday took forever. But I've had a couple quick trades on here with you guys that have played nicely with me. So would like to keep that run rolling. Nice and green in these pack of straight to funded Sim Pro 150Ks. I've taken every trade actually on these live with you guys so far. So we'll see what we can do. We will see what we can do. My bias is very clear. Market is moving to the right side. There you go. That's the smart ass comment we were all waiting for. Ralph, wait, yeah, we talked about that right now. Consumer sentiment. What's up? What's going on, guys? Got some people hopping on. What's up, chat? You know the drill. Smash like, smash subscribe. You do whatever you want to do. You don't have to do anything. I'd appreciate it, but you know what that means. Whatever you want to do. Selling right back through the 6,000s. Here we go. Cracking that level. Feeling some liquidity to the downside. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So, now we're 10 minutes out from red folder. Again, guys, it is Friday, right? I've been green across the board. Nothing crazy. Like you've seen the wins. Nothing insane, but I don't want to force anything on a Friday where we had, wild market movement based on, war and turmoil. So I'm going to wait for my levels to get hit patiently. If they do, great. If not, we stay patient, right? I consider what I do here on ES scalping because it's pretty quick in and out. But I'm not the super scalper that's just, scalping 1 minute price action for 250 trades a day. Don't think there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not what I'm working on here on ES. So I'm still sitting patient. So now that where I was going with that is now we sold off, right? We didn't come up and test this level. We got about 10 minutes to this red folder news. Unless we pull some crazy volatility coming up real quick, I really don't see a setup happening. Pretty basic, same type of movement that I've been looking for all week that's been paying me nicely. Oh. That's pretty much what I'm looking at, right? I would take it anywhere down really into the 70s. So anywhere within this level, there's 950, got some, oh no, 955. So already past that, just some volatility coming in. I could see a long off of an aggressive move to the downside, sweeping some liquidity, cracking VWAP, and then coming back up. I missed that trade actually early on Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday. Can't remember when Austin hopped in the chat and said I should have got long through VWAP and had already been looking at that. Or I could see an aggressive short up here. Again, do I want to take a trade right into red folder news? Not really. Not really. So probably going to sit patient through it at this point. If I had one on, something set up, 940, maybe I say, hey, I'm probably going to get in and out of this thing before news. Now I'd really be running it right into it. So I'd prefer not to do that if I don't have to. So let's start to see. Let's start to see what we get. But appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Let me see. I got some messages coming in. Let's see. Here's the reversal. Yeah, I'm thinking you were talking right here. Here's the reversal on the way down. Yeah, so let's see, man. Again, guys, if you're trading right now, you got about 7 minutes. 7 minutes on the nose from this time, maybe 6.5 if you're delayed. To red folder news, we got, what is it again? Consumer sentiment? Prelim consumer sentiment and inflation expectations coming up here in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. 10 a.m. Eastern. It is a red folder news event. That's all we have on the docket for today. Thursday's a bank holiday? Thursday's a U.S. holiday? What is Thursday next week? National... Am I missing something? I just clicked on the news. I was interested. What's the holiday next week? I'm actually not planning on streaming that Thursday and Friday of next week. I'll be here Monday through Wednesday of next week. That's just personal travel. Yeah, it is. Oh, Juneteenth. Okay, federal holiday. Yeah, is the futures market open? That's interesting. No. Stock market is closed. So New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ are closed on Thursday. Yeah, futures are probably going to trade though, right? We also got roll coming up. We got contract roll coming up. Let's see. Is the futures market running on Juneteenth? No. Also, no. It's interesting. Market is closed. So yeah, we got no trading on Thursday next week. That's cool. Lines up with a day that I was traveling. I'm flying on Thursday next week, so that helps me out. And I don't have to worry about trading a day after the Thursday holiday, which I honestly prefer not to do. So that makes it easy. I'll look for some off-screen basic stuff on Friday if something pops up. So yeah, but that's what we got rolling here. There's a sell-off. Didn't get the retest of, didn't get the sweep up above the 615s. There is the reversal coming back in, pop at the open, and movement back down. Again, this is what I look for, right? This is the movement. You know, the same thing every day. Now, does it hit my level, the level that I want to be hit up here? Area of liquidity and potentially basic level of structure. Today, no, right? Today, no. So, got to have some, even if it's discretionary, which it is, some way of identifying what I'm waiting for. Along with that, especially not having a really clean, beautiful setup, maybe on another day I'm trying to find a way in here short. But today, when we have red folder news, I want to be really at the extreme. For me, what I would describe as that, again, subjective, before I throw risk on and have a stop loss pretty wide that says, hey, you know what? If this comes and hits my stop, I'm dead wrong. We're not reverting at all. We're blasting to the upside, and I just, just market's not doing what I think it's going to do today, right? So no trade so far. Again, got about 2 minutes to red folder news. 2 minutes to red folder news, guys. Mars told me the market is moving to the right. Yeah. ESNQ hitting its head on settlement. Gotcha. Little move is right, moving to the right. Yeah, it is moving to the right. That's one thing we can be sure of. Market's going to go up and down. Right? It's probably not going to stay at the exact same price level to the tick for very long, and it's probably going to move to the right. I don't really know too many markets that move to the left. Haven't seen one of those just yet. But yeah, we're coming into this, guys. We're getting close. Liquidity staying on the book. I think it's probably going to start to dry up as we come into the minute before, but yeah, so far holding above VWAP, drifted higher overnight. This is going to be an interesting session, right? Do we turn back down and start to sell off today? You know, really just not even coming back up to try to put a top wick in here on this daily candle, come and challenge yesterday's high. We just turned through VWAP and kind of come and chop down here. or sell off really aggressively? Do we pop on news and start to run? Do we get some other information out of what's going on, right? Does more information come out of that conflict? At any point that could happen, and take a look at how the market often reacts to that. Like this is what we saw. This is 6 minutes, and 263 ticks to the downside, right? As that, information started to happen in real time. So, that could happen at any point. Got to be aware of that. So, if you're on the right side of that, great. You're on the wrong side of that, probably going to be a tough day for you. Here we go, trading back down through the 95s. Do we want to go and grab the 85s, the 75s? This is kind of going to suck. We're getting close to my level where I'd like to be looking long down here. I'm not going to take it if we wick down, but I think we might wick down here and potentially start to pop. This is tough, man. I don't want to trade right into this news, but here we go, getting closer to VWAP, coming back down through yesterday's low. Got about a minute to red folder, so we're going to see what we got here. Let's see what we get here today. Here we go, guys. About 10 seconds to red folder news. Let's see what we get out of this one. Anything crazy coming here today? Let's see. Yep, liquidity's dry on bookmap. Here we go. Ooh, okay. There's the volatility. That's a pretty decent reaction. That's a pretty damn decent reaction here. Right back to the 6,000s. Do we revert on that? Looks like buyers want to drive this thing higher. Really interesting. So we popped, came right back to trade. Yeah, 6,003.4. What is that? Yeah, 6,004, 6,003 and a quarter, 3/4. Not that it really matters to be that exact. Liquidity coming back on the book on bookmap now that we're starting to settle a minute or two after this. I'm still looking for the same type of play. Aggressive short from up here, aggressive long from down here. I'm saying up here and down here because I got to see what happens if we start to move in this direction. I'm going to be kind of flexible on the actual area of my entry today because I think we could start moving really, really quickly if we start to move in one of these directions. I also think we could chop. That might be the last bit of news, and the market's just going to wait on information to come out of the Middle East on what's going on with that conflict before we rocket in one direction. So to the downside, realistically, initial areas, 75s. Yeah, 75s. I can mark that. Let's throw some. Let me use the zone so we keep it clean. Keep it clean today. Looking down in that level. down in that area for a potential buy. That's what I'll be looking at. If we start to sell off to the downside, crack below VWAP down to this area, it's not really an area of high volume if I zoom out. Just down to this area, it's actually not a bad zone. Actually not a bad zone if I take a look at it. Of course, on this type of price action, I can kind of draw a zone anywhere, and I could say, oh, look, there's a bottom and a top there. So I'm not really cherry picking that, but we got about 118 on the book down below. We got 156 at 85. That might be the turning point, just a sweep of prior day low before coming back up. If we sell off, if we don't just start to pop back here. But I think aggressively long on this, I'm waiting for a movement. I'm waiting for a movement now. 20 points below price. I don't think that's too much to ask for. We start to push to the upside. Again, I'm looking for a crack above these 60-15s for an aggressive short. Pretty basic reversion style trades. Very simple. Same stuff that you guys have been seeing me do all damn week. That's initial ideas for this. Looking at bookmap. Yeah, this we want to hold. We're at least holding for right now. Do we come through this or do we start to push off? I mean, area of high volume traded here multiple times. We returned. We did business. This could be the buy opportunity with a real aggressive stop right here. I'm not taking it from this structure. This is just not it for me. Not it, as the kids say. It's not a move back down to VWAP and then a bounce. It's not a move to prior day low and then a bounce. If this was happening right here, I could definitely see a long on some consolidation, return to VWAP, and then buyer stepping in. Could definitely see that, but not clean enough, right? I wouldn't want a stop loss right here. I don't think that's a great place. I wouldn't want a stop loss right here at VWAP. I don't think that's a great place. So no trade from this area. Want to see what happens if we start to crack back up to the upside, crack back down to the downside. Wouldn't mind a long, though. If we start selling off, could be really aggressive, but actually, I wouldn't mind this either way. I'm pretty unbiased right now. Pretty unbiased. Chat, let's see what you guys think. Outside of that, it's moving to the right. It was supposed to be a millionaire. Tea leaves are lying. That's funny. Hey, Zach, I have a question. Post in Discord. Yeah, go ahead, man. Absolutely. I'm more than happy to answer. And if you guys aren't aware, I run a 100% free Discord. I think we probably got a lot of people from Discord today. Not a whole bunch of people. I think we got some traders taking Friday off. That's cool, man. These markets are wild. You might say that's enough for me. That is the... Oh, I missed the wrong link. If you want to hop in the 100% free Discord, I would be more than happy to have you there. Not a VIP feeder program. No course or paywall that I'm streaming behind. I do all that stuff free. But more than happy to have you in there. You can read Wolf's question and my response to it. Maybe that's helpful. I was expecting a bigger move. Luke, what's up? Not bad. Luke, how we doing on that funded account, man? Scott, Umbridge, you think... Umbridge got to you, I think. You guys are all over the map. Scott's going to wait till 2 p.m. Yeah, same on NQ. Yeah, this is interesting, guys. Again, no trade from right here. I'm looking for maybe some selling pressure to come in. Give me a spot to enter aggressively long down around VWAP, around these 75s. To the upside, short, maybe off the 15s to the 20s. I could see something like that. That's my play. That's my play so far. Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot doing. I actually wanted to check. Yes, University of Michigan sentiment. Yeah, I'm not a big fundamental guy, but when we got stuff like this going on, really gnarly information coming in. I think it can be important to just kind of have your eyes on a little bit of the understanding of what was going on. Yeah. Got a 3-day win streak going on the new straight to funded. There it is. There it is. Love to hear that, Scott. Watching to see how others do as Dow is lower and Nas not making a move either. Gotcha. Undecided, not sure what's doing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm again unbiased. Yeah, for sure, Scott. I'm unbiased, kind of waiting on this thing to start moving one way or the other. Look for an aggressive trade if we start to get some movement. Again, kind of bullish, right? After that news, driving back up higher. I could see that. We really turned on this dip. News popped to the upside, and then we just erased it. Came right back down to, kind of this middle ground. The 995s were hanging out. So we could be in for a choppy day, right? The market moved a lot last night. We might be just in for this kind of down day where we drift around and close the day lower after selling off really aggressively on that information. But let's just wait, watch the technicals, see what prices got for us. Again, I do think at any point while we're hanging out here, honestly, guys, we could have a wild, wild price movement, right? Something like we saw right here, right? I do think at any point there's this conflict going on just a few hours ago, right? When we're talking about into yesterday evening here for Eastern time. Any type of information comes out, more conflict, more attacks, more reports of anything going on, we could absolutely see price start to move in one direction or the other, right? So it's reason for caution. It's reason to structure your risk for sure. And maybe you say, hey, you know what? This is crazy. I don't like to trade during these times. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you get the other traders that say, we got momentum, we got some volatility. I'm going to pay full focus today. I'm going to be paying attention, be spending more time on the charts. Don't think there's a wrong way to do it either way. I'm usually pretty down the middle. I don't find I have great results around holidays. That's pretty much my no trade times. Like the time in between Christmas and New Year's, I've just gotten smoked and been really upset for New Year's like too many times in the past to want to really do that. So right around major U.S. holidays when the markets are closed, right before and after major U.S. holidays, start and beginning of the year, I'm a little bit more cautious, take some extra days off, that type of stuff. I don't see the need to try to trade when half markets are closed or right beforehand. Just usually get weird price action, low volatility, choppy movements, just not anything that really presents good trading opportunities for me personally. And just I notice it on my results. So, but outside of that, man, markets are moving, crazy stuff going on. There's crazy stuff going on for better or worse in this world these days. Like I would be not trading a lot if I was trying to avoid all of that. So I show up every day outside of personal vacations and right around U.S. holidays. That's my MO. Here we go. We got some selling pressure stepping in here. Let's see. Got some selling pressure coming in. Let's see what we get here, boys and girls. We might get an entry. I talked about going half risk. This would be a full. I'd have to take $1,000 across 7 accounts down if I take an L on this one. I'll still be up on the week with some decent green across the board. And if I have to realize one of these bad boys, unfortunately I will, I'm going to be waiting aggressively for the 75s for something like that. We crack through the 75s, start to trade into the 60s. 10 points is really not too much today. It's going to be interesting. All right, let's see. Here we go. Back down to VWAP. Again, not jumping in long up here, nothing crazy. Let's see what happens around VWAP, what happens around this zone down here. Again, liquidity on the book. We got 132 right here at 59.75 on bookmap. Those are resting buy orders. Do they stay there? What happens when they get there? Out for debate, man. I talk about how I use bookmap in the very simple, dumb guy way. Pattern recognition, not creating too much narrative behind it, not really caring about too much narrative behind the tools that I use. I just like to pay attention to them in a very technically based way, as in what happens slightly more often than not as I'm watching these price print, right? Or I'm watching orders get moved around on the book. Build some intuition, build some discretion, some implicit memory. Be able to subjectively interpret what's happening and structure risk and try to make $1. Let's see who we get as we come down lower here. Thinking of a 50K Sim 50K eval purchase. What do you think? Jump on in, Zach. Yeah, there we go. Ryan, what's up, man? I'm getting ready. Getting ready. It's going to be long America in a minute. That's what it looks like. I will answer that, Aaron. That's a good question. I'll give you my thoughts. Do you have any like specific question on it, like, or just you want me to give you my thoughts on it? America, Ryan says. If you have any like specific questions on the different ones or something, or what you're considering, or you want to like just personally know what I think based on where you're at in your trading, I'm happy to provide that if you give me a little bit more info. Otherwise, I'm just happy to talk about it. No pressure. I'll talk about it either way, but I'm eyeballing this setup, so I'm just going to stay focused. Trading live is great. It's very fun. I really enjoy doing it. It's a great way to get held accountable for your trading. It's a great way to prove a track record. In my opinion, the only way to do it is just trading live here every single day with entries and exits and stops and everything shown. I don't think anything else is worth anything at all in this day and age, unfortunately. But I get distracted. I sometimes get distracted. I read what you guys are saying, or I'm talking about other things, or I'm marking a chart. I'm explaining something, and then I get close to like missing an entry, or I just don't have enough time to really process and make a good decision. So I try to balance this. So that's what I'm doing right here. We'll get back to talking about 50K prop accounts and America. Answering the chat just a minute. 75 to the downside. Yeah, it still looks good. So right now on bookmap, we have 113 on the book, couple stacks of orders, right? Couple price levels. The 85s, the 80s, and the 75s. We got some clean stacks on the book down there. Do we go and fill those? I don't know. We came right into the 87-ish, 85-ish area before, and we found buyers right here. It doesn't look like we want to drive lower. Yeah, this looks like aggressive buying coming out of this area, so we may not return to it. Dang, that looks like it might be it. Again, nothing for me to do but wait. I've got a level marked on my chart. I've got an area that I'm watching on bookmap. I just sit patiently and wait for it to happen or not happen. Wait for the market to come to me, and put risk on. But this looks pretty strong. We are not really seeing sellers overpowering buyers and driving this price lower right here. Let's see. You guys, I see you guys are asking great questions in the chat. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Watching this thing for a potential aggressive long if we can crack lower, but I don't know that we do. I really don't know that we do. I'm losing faith, but I think if we do, it could be pretty violent. Could be a really aggressive wick down here. So I want to be ready for it. What do you got for me today, ES? What do we got on Friday the 13th? Let's see. Check my posts. Posted Jason on Friday the 13th, ready to kill the markets. We'll see if we kill the markets or the markets kill us today. Let's see which way it goes. Should be fun. Here we go. Trying it through prior day low again. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Can we do it? We get another bounce from this level. We come back up above this wick, the 94s. Buyers are really going to be making a case to not want to let this thing move lower. Or or maybe they are. And I just think if we move back above the 94.25, that we might not come all the way back down to my level. I'll keep it real stupidly simple. Let's see. Let's see. Chat. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 50K eval. Aaron, if you have any more, like if you have more information on what you're thinking, I'll talk about it either way with top one. In a short, 60 points of profit, but could rebound. Nice, dude. I don't know that you got that on ES. I'm assuming NASDAQ. Hey, Zach, I've heard different things about setting up fixed volume profiles. Set your levels from the 30-minute, even trading on the 1 minute, and then set your profile limits off the 1 minute if trading the 1 minute. I will talk about that, CJ. What is your way of setting it up and getting levels? I will absolutely talk about that. It's not on my chart this week. I've had just way too much on my chart. I felt like it was kind of just overlaying too much. So I removed a lot of the stuff that I had, but I will show you exactly how I do that, the levels that I like, how I mark them, and my thought process on exactly what you're asking, which is kind of a gray area, and I'm always happy to tell you when I don't know the exact answer to something. Just switch to ES Mini. Nice, Scott. Nice. Be careful. Be careful. It's the big boy contract over here. No, there's no ego. I always see people comment like weird stuff, like, "Oh man, we're watching this guy trade micros instead of minis." Like what? Like because of the size you trade, or whether you're on minis or micros. Like I don't know, bro. You could trade 100 micros and be trading a lot larger size than I am. You know. Good morning. What's up? What's up, Rich Boy Trades? What's going on, everybody? Smash like, smash subscribe. You know the drill. We got a bunch of you on here, man. We got like no likes. I don't know. You guys must want to see some gambling today or something. I'm here sitting patient, trying to wait. You guys must want to see some action. We might get something. I'm waiting for a sell-off. We tried to push higher. Here we go. Sellers trying to take it lower. Still waiting patiently for around the 75s. Between here and the 75s, I'm looking long. I want to see what happens around VWAP if we return to it. I would love a nice crack down below. Yeah, this would be pretty clean. This would line up to the downside. We are seeing some serious downtrend structure. We had a gnarly sell-off overnight, but I could see this potentially, if we're going to chop, I could see us retesting VWAP down here, cleaning out liquidity, and then kind of dancing around. That would give me a way to structure risk, maybe generate a nice winning trade. I could see us running to the upside. I could see us continuing back up. Going to fill this no wick to the upside gap that we've got. This is a gap over here. Yeah, it's kind of interesting looking. Anyway, I could see us coming back up on price today if we are, in fact, not going to close a lot lower. Here we go, starting to sell off. I could also see us sell it off, right? I'm pretty unbiased. I could see us selling off. And I think the way that I generate a L here is we sell off really aggressively. I have direction wrong. We just blast through this level, or I'm just too tight on a stop. I run a stop that's just too tight, can't handle the pressure as we come down. I would like for neither of those to happen, but either of one of those can happen. So let's see. Here we go. Coming into this liquidity, I think we're going to try to fill these orders. There it is. Big surprise, guys. Like I said, waiting for some action here. Think it could be pretty violent, right? Where do I get that information from? Not a genius. Just, watching the DOM, I think you could start to say, hey, we got a big stack of orders that we keep bouncing into. If we finally fill it, we're probably going to get some large volume traded like we just did on that candle. Now what happens? Now what happens? Do we come all the way through towards the 75s like I'm waiting for? Do we bounce off of VWAP here? Let's see if I'm being too aggressive waiting. Ooh, okay. Now we got some more orders on the book. Bookmap changing fast. DOM is moving. The depth of market is moving. Yeah, we got the 78's got like 250 on the book there. Do we just want VWAP? Let's see. It's all good. Gonna wait for this one. Gonna wait for a clean out of the 75s before I get long on this. That looks aggressive, man. Nah, I still think we're coming through. I think we're coming through to the 75s, but let's see. Let's see what we got. Chat, great questions. I will come through of this. I'll come through talking on it. We'll talk about volume profile. We will talk about the 50K evals. Good morning, good morning. Smash the like button. 100 points on NQ hit, baby. Very nice. Very nice. Ryan took a TP on that. 400 on that drop with MNQ. Done for the day. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see it. Let's see it. Can I get my level hit? Or are we gonna have buyers step in? That's all we're gonna have to do is trade the 80s. I gotta wait. I gotta wait here, boys and girls. But we are at VWAP. Obviously, VWAP's a pretty key point, paid attention to by a lot of traders for a reason, I believe. Let's see if we can trade through the 75s, throw a long on. See if we can't snag a little win here on a Friday the 13th. Or if we got to get smoked, take an L, and then go touch some grass. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Bouncing off of VWAP, man. Yep. Buyer stepping in off of VWAP, man. These ASFX boys might be in the money quickly today. Not gonna get my level down below VWAP today. Not gonna get my 75s hit. At least yet. Still gonna wait on it. Not jumping in. No FOMO. That's a 11-point bounce off the lows. A beautiful no heat from VWAP. 9 and a quarter point, almost immediate bounce off of that. That's pretty clean to the upside. Let's see. Nothing to do but sit and wait patient. Here we go. Here's where waiting patient might pay, kids. Let's see. Yeah, I'm honestly, the only thing I'm considering on this one, I'm getting long. The only thing I'm considering on this one is a wide stop loss. I just don't know if I could run 2 minis into this. I mean, I can, but I don't know if running 2 minis into this is a good way to structure risk. If we come down, I don't know that we do. Buyer's trying it off of VWAP. It looks good. We come back up on this again. We start breaking structure to the upside. It's going to look worse. We pull this type of movement. I don't know that I want it. We do something like that. I don't know that I want to get long on something like that. My only thought process here as I'm watching this price action, I don't know. 10 might be a little tight. Down to the 65s might be a little bit tight. Do I need to run it way lower? Do I need to pull all the way down here? I'd really be wrong. I'd be dead wrong on any reaction. Probably something in the middle of those would be a little bit more reasonable, and that's might be what I do today. I might run one into this just because we got a little bit more movement, a little bit more volatility, and I want to be aggressive with my entry if we come down into this. So, let's see. No, it's a pretty clear. Yeah, I'm kind of sorry. I'm just thinking through this stuff out loud with you guys as I like to do. It's pretty clear. If we don't reject and we don't get a reaction right around the 75s after clearing liquidity, if we come down into this, then I'm just wrong and we're just we're gonna sell. I'm not gonna give it a boatload of room. Let's see. Waiting patiently for my level to get hit. Trading the 83s, coming down into the 80s. Here we go, people. Buyers stepping in right here, front run in the 80s. Uh-oh. 200 on the book at price, right below price, not at price. We got buyers stepping in on this. Yeah, we got people getting involved at VWAP. Wow. This is interesting. Is it just going to be VWAP today? On another day where we don't have a level of structure and liquidity below this, I'm not waiting for this next 10 points to fill. Yeah, I think we're going to fill it. Let's see. What's NQ and YM doing, kids? For those of you that are trading that, what are the other guys doing? They selling off pretty aggressively here, or is this just ES? I don't watch both, but I know a lot of you guys are not trading ES, so I don't mind asking. There we go. Through the 80s, let's see the 75s. Going to wait patiently to see if we get a crack below and look for an aggressive entry. 75. Can we get it? One more nice aggressive crack to the downside. And I am jumping in like an absolute psychopath. Can we get it? 78, 79, 78 and a quarter. Dang, man, you really like, market's really like making me wait on this one, huh? Can we do it? What do we think? Looking for a crack past this level. One more push through. We're sitting right here, or do we bounce before it? I'm not going to front run. I'm not going to front run this with an entry. So let's see. I'm not limiting in. I'm waiting. Waiting to see if we get the push through one more time. I think it could be a little bit violent. That's why I want to wait, just in case we dump really aggressively on it. Almost there. Almost there. We could really start to sell off if we crack this as well. So, this is an aggressive entry. We are moving to the downside. I think we could really start to sell off if we get a lot of movement and continuation through it. Oh, man, come on. Not going to give it to me? Not going to do it? Not going to do it for me? Yes. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. Those of you that got short NQ early, man, nice job. Very well done. Very well done getting paid. Back down. Let's see. Are we going to try it? Are we going to try it? Down below, there's not too much. 70 has like 78 orders sitting at it. So we could see a push a little bit further down. Damn, we don't want to push through this, huh? Waiting patiently, guys. Waiting patiently. Had a specific price level on my chart coinciding with a zone, market structure, level of liquidity on bookmap that I would like to get hit, right? If I have to take a loss, I want to know that I waited for my zone, my area before I got into the trade and I took a good L, right? I don't like to jump in 5 points before my trade, but I got a good feeling that my zone's not going to get hit, right? So I have discretion to apply, and I could be doing that right now and be jumping in. We've cracked through every one of these little areas. We have seen some nice bounces, but this again does not look like it's going to give it to me. ES, man. Didn't get the 75s, a couple points off my level where we would already be in profit, but this might be just one of those frustrating ones. I got to sit patient and wait. Anyway, I'll hang out with you guys, read the chat. All right, we're going to talk about the 50K account. We're going to talk about, because this looks like it's just going to not set up for me. We're going to talk about the 50K account. We're going to talk about the volume profiles. Where's Ruben? Yeah, where's Ruben? What's going on with Ruben? You seen Scrembo, my man Scrembo. I have anxiety watching him trade. I don't know how he does it, but it seems to work for him. Yeah, Scrembo's a madman. Scrembo's a madman for sure. Seems bearish. Rich Boy Trades, never seen him. Watched a couple YouTubers before. One was a gambler. Yeah. Yep, Wolf's being a troll, talking about ICT. Hey, Zach, wait for a small retracement and YOLO it to the downside. Yeah, that's kind of the opposite of what I'm doing, Wolf. But I feel that. Just reached target on take profit tater. Very nice. Very nice. Then I go to work on my daily payouts. Very nice. Very nice. In top one account, do we need to hold the trade for at least 5 minutes? No, but you need to hold it for at least 10 seconds. There's a 10-second minimum trade rule with top one futures. Occasional violations are okay. They are looking for excessive violations, trades held under 10 seconds. They are not a fan of that. Yeah, watching other people do some weird stuff messes with my trading style and plan. Yep. I don't like long wicks. Yeah. Zach, thank you very much for top one. Haven't been trading it. Got you. Awesome. Absolutely. Is putting one micro trade enough to avoid getting deactivated? Yeah. So you have you have to activate it, right? And you have a 2 week, watching this thing continue to pull up back above VWAP. Is this going to be the effing trade, man? Sorry, guys. I'm bouncing back and forth between this, but this is going to be close but no cigar. Here we are immediately almost 10 points off of these lows. Very close to my entry. Back through VWAP. This looks like we want to pop. On another day, I'm entering long here after a pullback down to this area and a retracement back through with a stop loss just below. Not today. Not with liquidity down here and my level not getting hit. It's going to be a no trade for me if we just run. But it looks good for a long. Looked good for a long here, though, and it looked good for a long here, and it looked good for a long here and here. And none of those played out yet. So, I'm going to sit patient. See if patient pays today. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, one micro trade's enough. Just don't close it in 10 seconds. You got to open it, hang on to it for a minute, and then close it. I love Take Up Profit Trader. Once you reach buffer, they're amazing. Quick payments. I still have some work. Cool. Yeah. Take profit, sweet. One trade every 14 days. Yeah. I would just do one a week, right? I'd throw one micro on. I do it with accounts that I just have sitting as well. One micro trade, if it ends up being the only thing I'll say is don't try to always make it a win. If you get stuck doing that, you'll start trading and then you run yourself into drawdown. All of a sudden you blow an account because you wanted to take a one micro trade. So just take your one micro, hold it for 10 seconds, close out. Yeah, man. Wolf says he doesn't watch anybody except for me, man. I appreciate you. Only because he stresses a lot on psychology and mindset more than risk, reward, and strategies. Sits well with my ideology. Yep. Hey, Zach, how's your accounts going on the rules that apply? Like the ESS. Yeah, so far, again, I've only been trading these for a few days. So far, every trade I've taken on here has been live with you guys. These are in the green. I'm on a win streak with these. Oh, man. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to go touch some grass after this, guys. Super frustrating, but got to wait for your levels to get hit. How's my accounts going with these? Yeah, so far so good. All right, it's been straight wins, so not much to talk about as far as dealing with the ESS, dealing with down days, really any of that stuff. But you guys will watch it play out live with me here. Yep, so for those that have been watching, here's my zone. Working like magic, just didn't get to my 75 level, right? That I was waiting for. We had about 2.25 points to move down where I would be in long on this bad boy with a 10-point stop. Maybe stopped in profit, right? If I got long up here, came back down, probably would have been a little stop in profit on this type of pullback right there. But here we are. 15 points off of the lows, breaking structure to the upside. Just looking at some measured movements, this is a nice push. Looking at everything relative to that point outside of the news, looks like we want to drive this thing higher. We got liquidity getting moved around above and below price on this, so this looks like at least the push back up, really invalidating my trade. Did not hit my level. No missed entry, just not an entry. On another day where we get a crack of VWAP and a push back up, I want to get long on this. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Not today when we have a level of liquidity down here and I'm waiting for a really aggressive long and we don't get hit. That's just a FOMO in. That's we got really close and we're, 5 points below and it's a FOMO in. So close, really close. Great read. Can't, pat myself on the back there, but just not good enough, I guess. Not good enough. Yep. I'm going to go run 20 points off the lows. Simple stuff, guys. Very, very simple stuff. Marking of zones, using VWAP, using volume. Just not gonna play nice enough with me today. Not gonna play nice enough. And one thing that I've done way too often in the past is the FOMO in, right? The FOMO in early right here. We're getting close, I'm going to jump in. And then what happens is this, right? And nothing's more frustrating than this. Here's my entry if I do something like that, right? Instead of my entry being down here where it's supposed to be, right? On a nice crack through the 75s. And I pull a move like this. And on another day, what happens? We don't reject here. We come right down to my level. And we crack a little bit farther than I think we were originally going to. And then we bounce, right? Really nicely. And had I actually just waited for my entry point right here, I'm in the trade. This is enough to drive you through a wall, man. You pull a flaw like that, an early entry, not waiting for your zone to get hit. And then exactly what you wanted to wait for happens, and your original stop loss and take profit would have worked really cleanly. That's happened to me more times than I can count. It's incredibly frustrating. It's just not good trading, right? On a day like today, I enter here and I apply my discretion, and we don't do that, right? We just do this, and it looks like, a great move. So not going to be perfect every day. Your setup's not going to come for you every day. Even worse than that, I wait. It moves away from the zone. I'm like, this looks good. It does really look good to the upside. I pull a real late entry like up here. Pull one of these, right? A super late jump in, and it doesn't do what it's doing right now. And we get the same structure that would make complete sense, and then we bounce like this. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. None of which is really good trading. So you don't know what the market's going to do next. That's what it comes down to. You're never going to know what it's going to do next. Good read. Good areas marked. Very, very close for an entry. Just not my win today. Can I complain? No, man. I had beautiful entries the rest of the week. Go look at the short from yesterday. Cannot complain. Can't bitch and complain when I had a short yesterday that played out in a couple minutes worth of trading really quick to the downside, $600, trailing a stop, super clean. You can't complain. You're just not always going to get your areas hit, or at least for me personally, what I wait for, right? You might be waiting for confirmation, for candlesticks formations, and that's going to give you a really clear entry or not. But whatever it means for you. But there we go, right off my zone. 23 and a half points. That's it. Yeah, I've been here every day, my guy. Beard Club. Bears, come on, take the price deep down. The pits of earth. Shows great from conviction. I might have dragged into the buy and gotten killed. Yeah. Yep. Tick scalping involves holding net positions for seconds to 5 minutes. Both strategies are prohibited, and any gains made from this may be deducted. I read this at top 1 help, and that's why I ask. Neo, hop in my Discord and post the link for where you read that. That's what I would say. I think you're reading something wrong. I don't know anything about a trade that needs to be held for 5 minutes for top 1, but I don't like to say that I know everything and I end all be all. So I could certainly be wrong, but I would be very wrong. So please post whatever link that you're looking at in the Discord. I would also make sure that you're on top 1 futures and not top 1 trader or any other top name for a prop firm, because there's a lot of them. See, this is why I follow Zach. If I was watching someone else, I'd be sitting on a blown account by now. Come here almost every day to reaffirm it. That's okay to sit in your hands. Yeah, man. Listen, Wolf, I appreciate that, dude. It's the hard stuff, and it sucks, right? Like, this is so clean and so close. Like, I feel it, right? I'd be lying if I say I don't get that emotion. That's like, frustration, whatever, disappointment. You're like, oh man, I want to be in this. Here's my move. Here's what I was waiting for. Look at how clean we waited, patient. But this is, for me, this is what separates making money from not making money, because everything else, I apply a lot of discretion, right? This is a discretionary level. This is different every day. It's based on bookmap. I'm watching what happens. I don't even have a limit order. This is discretionary. But if I'm so inconsistent where I'm just all over the place, I don't stand a chance. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. Sitting patiently, waiting. And then if it doesn't get hit, not doing something crazy stupid, just not trading with an edge at all, I think is really important. And I think, again, trading is simple, right? Trading is simple. The strategies, the approaches, the managing of risk, it's not that complex. To me, personally, what's the hardest part? This, right here, when this is my trade, right? When I waited for this all morning, and then this happens. This is hard not to do something stupid, When I get that close, here it is right here, right? That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part, right? As we're getting close, not doing something stupid. As I don't get my entry, not doing something stupid, right? Kind of just not doing something dumb across the board. And what do I mean by that? Whatever is not your approach, whatever is not your plan, right? Stupid to me could be genius to you. So that's also subjective. Yeah, man, that's it. That's the stuff. I was on top 1 trader, top 1 futures. Yeah, top 1 futures. That's what we're looking at here, guys. Top 1 Trader is the CFD and Forex firm that's been in business for a couple years. The same owners of Top 1 Futures that have came to the futures market. And if you want to check out Top 1 Futures while we're hanging out doing the damn thing, code RDF until Wednesday next week gets you 55% off of the new straight to funded 50K, straight to funded pro accounts. Excuse me, I was thinking 50K, Sim Pro accounts. So yeah, to the trader that was on here asking about a 50K, I think they're sweet from Top 1. I think they're sweet from other firms. Read the rules. If you want to click that link and use my code, awesome. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I can't be unbiased, right? So do your own research, make your own decision. I think it's pretty solid. I think you got a good opportunity. So what was the other question? There was someone that asked something good. Volume profile. Yeah, setting up fixed volume profile. Let's dig into that now that I got a trade that got really close that now I'm just going to wait for the market to do whatever it's going to do. Let's talk about fixed range volume profiles and levels that you can use from volume profiles. Excuse me. Okay, so it doesn't sound like you're asking about how I set the levels or how I use it. But what you're asking is, I've heard different things about setting up the fixed volume profile, Set your levels from the 30-minute, even if trading on the 1 minute, and then set your volume profile limits off the 1 minute if trading on the 1 minute. So here's, I think, what you're asking. What's the right time frame to use for setting fixed range volume profile? And here's the God's honest truth of that answer. I don't know. Here's what I do know and what I've been told recently. Had Luna Trades on the show recently, and he was claiming that he also is not 100% sure, but he felt that setting, or he heard that or felt that, or whatever the reason was, setting it off of the 1 minute chart gives you the most data, the most information on TradingView, and in turn gives you the most accurate point of control, value area high, and value area low. In the past, I've just done it off of whatever time frame was convenient for me, noting that the areas do show up in slightly different areas, sometimes more than slightly. And I was just consistent with that time frame. I was just consistent with always marking it from the same time frame. So pick the 1 minute if you want to pick the 1 minute. Do some Google research, maybe ask another person. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm kind of coming to the answer that I don't know the exact answer on that. But I think if you marked it every day from the 1 minute, you probably have a solid set of objective levels that you could trade from every single day. The levels that I like, watching this come back down. Sorry, guys. I'm just, I know I tapered off there for a second. I'm watching this come back down into liquidity now. We've gotten orders moved around back at the 85s. I don't like this nearly as much from down here, and I'm not going to jump in long. Why? This was the move. This was the move I wanted. So as frustrating as this is, now we're forming really aggressive downtrend structure. We still have orders at the 75s. I would have to wait to see what comes down here. What happens if we come back down? I'm honestly tempted on it from up here, back at VWAP, because we got a lot on the book right up here. But this looks like we want to move higher. So if we sell off aggressively through the lows, I don't know that I jump right back in. Yeah, so anyway, we're talking about fixed range volume profile. Here's what we're talking about, guys. And the levels that I like to use. If you come over here, if you're on Project X with Top 1 Futures or anybody else, or you're on TradingView, you'll get the fixed range volume profile right over here under volume based, under the projections tab. You can grab that and drag it out, right? And what does that give you? A point of control, right? The area of highest volume traded for whatever you're anchoring this tool to and from. These are time anchors, right? You get value area high and value area low, right? You can adjust the settings by clicking on the thing and going to settings. I got some stuff adjusted in here, mainly just the row size that kind of makes it more granular if I really put this number really high rather than big blocky stuff. The areas that I like to mark without doing it on my chart as I'm watching price were prior days, regular trading session hours from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. I would mark that for the prior day and take value area high, value area low, and volume point of control. And then if you want another set that's higher time frame or larger amount of time based, the prior week volume profile, the entire prior week, you can get the same value area high, value area low, and point of control, volume point of control. Those two profiles coming into the next trading session, those levels tend to work pretty well. And what does that mean, right? They provide interesting areas on the chart, right? Price might return to do business at these levels. You might get forget about that. You might get reactions at these levels. They're interesting areas of interest to watch on the chart. I try to keep my stuff as simple as possible. For me, I do find them helpful. I just had a lot overlaying on my chart, and when I start to do that, I like those levels. But when I start to do that, and there's just like, value area high, prior week value area low, overnight high, prior day low, they're all like overlaying. I can't really see what's going on. I try to just kind of back off, right? So what I'll do sometimes in the morning, to be honest, haven't done it this morning, haven't done it really much this week. I will mark those up, take a look at where those levels are, and then mark discretionary levels around them. But for right now, overnight high, prior day high, overnight low, prior day low, VWAP volume profile, traditional volume on the bottom, and a couple discretionary levels above and below price, often coinciding with areas of volume since I'm using a visible range volume profile, seem to be enough. Like that's a lot, right? Seem to be enough. Along with bookmap over on the side. So for me, that's enough information. If I add another set of 6 levels on there, objective levels, they're clean. I like them, but it can just start to be a lot overlaid. And I think it just comes down to the individual trader to say, what's too much? What's too much information for you to process? What's too much of the same information? Where do you start to draw the line and say, I want to watch price action and market structure and volume at its core. I got too much going on here. Man, yeah, it looked like buyers wanted to step in around VWAP. They stepped in beforehand, man. Stepped in beforehand. Yep. This is looking strong. Looking pretty strong. Return to VWAP. Crack above. Close to my entry. Very close. Very close. Yeah, I'm going to hang out and see if anything else starts to set up. This looks like a good long from up here, man. If you are long biased today, I could definitely see it. We had some pretty gnarly selling pressure overnight, but this does not look like a bad long opportunity right here. Yeah, here we go. Again, just not my setup. I know I'm talking about price, but I'm sticking to my approach, my rules. I got waited patiently for something that played out really beautifully, but did not come to me. Market didn't come to me. I got to wait for it. I could always just speculate while I'm on here. It's not worth anything if I'm not putting trades on, but this looks strong. Buyers did not want to come back down through VWAP, bought right back up. Coming back above this, temporary volume point of control, right out of this area. If we're going to run long, like this gives you a way to structure risk, right? We're still low in this range, at least in this session. Stop loss below here, stop loss below here. This way you say, hey, if we come back down through this, I'm wrong. We're not headed to the upside. We're coming back down. Gives you a way to structure risk. It's not my setup. It's not my 20-something odd point stop loss to the downside. Just not it. But I'm going to wait to see what happens. I'm still interested in this market and finding a trade. I'm going to hang out with you guys for a bit longer. I'll be right back. Right back, guys. Back in action with the guys. There's the longs taking off. Let's see, man. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Ralph's in this long. What's up? Never try to catch a falling knife. Yep. That's a good one. The way that I trade is pretty aggressive. I do like aggressive entries off of levels. So sometimes it does look like I'm trying to catch a falling knife. Prop trading makes me feel like a rookie again and a trader helper at the CME in the 80s. Yeah, man. Prop trading's tough. Retail, funding firms, right? Because I think there's also a valid, difference between what we call, futures prop firms and, a more traditional prop firm. But objectively, right? Objectively, not looking at the psychological piece of managing more money on the line that you have in a cash account, you have a lot of rules. You got a lot of rules. Max loss limits, daily loss limits, consistency rules, trailing drawdowns, trade hold times, minimum profitable days to get paid, right? And then, and then usually you got to put up a buffer. You don't have that. You don't have that in a cash account. You don't have that in a, personal account, right? You just have, margin requirements and whatever rules are in place by the, exchange that you're trading on, right? And the, broker and platform that you're working with. So when it comes time to actually trade that, though, is it more difficult from a psychological mindset to say I have, maybe thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line when I'm trading, right? Because your entire balance is, your risk capital. And I'm trading here in, accounts that are a couple $100s. Is it harder to trade, a live account that way when you think about it that way? That's out for debate, right? That's out for debate. So, prop trading is tough. Prop trading is tough. It's a great way to leverage other people's money. I think it's a good opportunity for both beginner and experienced traders to really limit downside risk and get exposure to the market. But, that's again, up to the individual. But on that note, I have a video getting ready to drop that's talking about trading live personal cash accounts versus prop accounts, just in general, right? In general. Morning, Zach. You're a disciplined trainer. Thanks for coming live every day. It helps me stay more focused and grounded. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. I try to be grateful for the community, man. We got almost 2,000 members in a free Discord community. If you want to check it out, link is somewhere in the chat. It's also down below this video. More than happy to have you in. And I love showing up every day and hanging out with you guys, showing you what trading looks like for me. Again, if you hopped on late, you don't know who the hell I am. I trade here free on YouTube almost every damn day. I run a free community. I don't claim to be the best trader in the world. I don't claim to have it all figured out and not make mistakes or a magic strategy or a leaderboard or big P&Ls and big profits and all that crazy stuff. But I'm happy to show you what real trading looks like for me. A normal guy, a regular idiot here on YouTube attempting to turn a profit with prop firms, right? So I'm happy to show you what that looks like for free. And if you find value from that, I think that's awesome. Can you explain the 20% consistency rule? That was the next one that I read, and then we got a couple other ones. So here's what I say, man. I got Neo. Click on my, if you want to hop off, you can now, but you can stay and maybe hop off later. I have a full video explaining that and a full video explaining the ESS score in detail, probably better than I'll do just on the fly here. It's pretty simple. Just very basic terms. No single day of profit, and this is for the original accounts, not the one that I'm trading right here, that you can still purchase, but the standard straight to funded accounts. The 20% consistency rule means that no single day of profit can be larger than 20% of your total profit when you go to request a payout. No single day of profit can be larger than 20% of your total profit when you go to request a payout, right? So there's simple math behind that. How much is your largest day of profit versus the amount that you have in your account when you go to request a payout? You can do the math on the front end. Okay, if I'm in this size account, I have to put up this much money to take a payout. What's 20% of that? If I want to take a payout as soon as I hit however much money I have to hit in order to take a payout, my largest day of profit cannot be 20% or more than that amount. Set a personal daily profit target and don't go over that. All right, that's the simple way to do it. But I have a whole video explaining it if you want. Free and answer questions every day, best you can. Yeah, that's what I do, man. That's what I do. Has trading live on YouTube improve your trading at all? Yeah, so it's an interesting one. I think most traders that trade live will tell you there's some interesting stuff that comes around from it. It's really great for accountability. Really great because you don't want to hop on YouTube with all you guys watching, right? We've had 200 people hop on and off this and do something stupid and trade on tilt or just take crazy trades that I can't explain what I'm doing or why or apply some consistency. So I think that's a big benefit. It really holds you accountable. I've heard more and more traders say that. I will say it adds a layer of pressure, right? It adds a layer of, you got a lot of people watching you. You want to do well, right? You don't want to show up every day and lose and take L's. You want to kind of prove yourself, which you have to do every single day if you want to try to win every single day. So that can be kind of a conflict, right? It can be a little bit interesting to deal with. I've been doing it for a while now, so I don't feel so much of that. I'd say the only pressure for me that I tend to feel is like the desire to take a trade. Like I've been on here with you guys now for an hour and 30 watching the market. I had some get real close, eyeballing it, finger on the trigger. I got my, order set ready. I'm getting ready to hit the button, and it just doesn't set up for me. I got to watch the trade move without me. So there's like a desire to want to take a trade, right? To show you how to structure risk, to talk about trading, live trading. If you're not trading, you're not live trading. But sometimes for me, there's not a setup, and I would just be putting on a trade just to put on trades, just to take them. And I try to find a balance between having no trade sessions and putting on just straight up, dumb trades. So that's a balance, right? That's a balance. So I would like to trade, and I would say I probably trade more on live sessions than I would if I just didn't have to trade at all and I was just hanging out watching the charts. And then that starts to beg the question, well, what are you doing? Is that the best trading that you can do? Or are you just putting trades on just to put trades on because it's fun? And guess what? People want to see live trades. If I put a trade on right now, the view count will grow. I've traded long enough. I watch the viewers as I'm on here. If I have a trade running right now, there'll be 10 or 20 more people in this live stream in the next 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes. So that's, you want to have people watching your stream, right? You want to have exposure. So all of that would, be kind of pushing towards doing that. But there's a balance. I am zoomed in on the 1 minute chart, trading minis. Pretty aggressive style for me. I just, I try to wait for good setups for me and trade consistently, not just be scalping and YOLOing accounts or doing anything silly. That's what I'd say about live trading. But it's cool. If you're considering it yourself, if that's why you're asking, I think it's cool. I think it's an interesting road to go down. You got to deal with a lot of BS. You guys are awesome. For the most part, my community is really, really awesome. I still deal with a ton of BS, a ton of hate and craziness and death threats in the past, like insanity. I'm like, my bad. But yeah, it's cool. I would encourage anybody that trades, whatever skill level you're at, you want to throw a camera in your face and hop on YouTube, man. I think it's awesome that we have the ability to do that these days. Man, right back up. Here was the long again. Yeah, guys, this is just not it for me today. This was the zone. This was the level. I just didn't get my 75s. I had no reason to jump in before the 75s on any of this. On another day, this looks really good, and this looks really good. Not on this structure today. Just not based on what I read on the book and, an order flow. So here I am. And today, that's what I get to show you, for better or for worse. A trade that got really close to an entry, the market moving in the direction that I wanted to see it move in. Patience to not do anything crazy after the fact. Not really fun. Not really that I get to stack up a win, but to show you what this looks like for me. So I'm not going to, there's another dynamic with these accounts, which is you got to put up 7 profitable days. You got to trade for 10 days. You got to put up 7 profitable trades. So there is a desire to take a $150 trade on these accounts. So I really want to wait because I've taken every trade on these so far live on YouTube with you guys. That's all staying up. So it would be really cool to just trade these live, which is kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But I get into a situation like this where I probably don't have a setup, and I might have something setting up later today to take a trade on and try to capture a winning trade. But I'm gonna hang out for a little longer. 11:07. I'm gonna hang out for a little longer. See if I can't find something that would try to satisfy that. To me, we're all the way back up. This is not looking very directional, right? We didn't get follow through to the upside. We came down. We're kind of just drifting higher now. Buyers are back in store. Like, this does look pretty strong. I could try a short. I don't like it nearly as much as when we were up here. But I'm going to try to find something with you guys. Again, within reason, not just putting a trade on and going, all right, buy here and, let's see if it works. So I could see a short potentially up here. Potentially. A little bit higher than we are right now. I'm looking about 10 points above price towards the 15s. Same area, right above this high. I think we could get somewhat of a reaction that would give me a way to structure risk. I'm going to run it with one, definitely a half risk on this, and look to either to clock a trading day in these, but also potentially to clock a $150 trading day live with you guys. And then I will just move on to my other accounts if I see something into the afternoon. So I'm hanging out. It's going to be a long one. We're going to be on it for a minute. See if we can't get some. Putting the real and real deal futures. Yeah. I missed a 2 on ES when crawling back to NQ. Not any better. Yeah. Discipline on match, Zach. All is good. You've had plenty of wins as well. Yeah, man. Plenty of wins and losses, right? It's part of trading. You hope to win a little bit more than you lose, or win a little bit more frequently than you lose, and you can make money in the long run. Simple as that. Hanging out with you guys, seeing what we can get on this Friday the 13th. Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe that was it. Unlucky Friday the 13th. not getting close enough. Let's see to the upside. Again, looking at bookmap, still coinciding with, this zone is a little bit high. I marked this before and this before. So I'm going to leave it on my chart. Not going to move anything around, but I'm really looking towards the 15s, the 10s, the 15s. We start to crack to the upside. I'm going to look aggressively short on this. Try to run something back down for a pullback. Even if we're going to break these highs, I think we're likely to pull back, but we might just start to drift around here, man. Could see a retest to this level and then a pop for a long, but that's definitely not my play. Just if I was just a straight price action market structure trader, I could see something like that. Retest back down to the 95s that we've been hanging out at all damn day. Let's see. Thanks for sharing, Zach. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. While we're hanging out on here, guys. Actually, let's hear what you think. Let's throw the poll in the chat. Poll's coming in the chat. Hang on. Let's see. What do you guys think? Long America, short it to hell. Polls up in the chat. I'm interested in what you think. If you think it's just chop, feel free to let me know that in the chat. If you guys think it's just straight up chop, let me know. Let me know what you guys are thinking. This is interesting. Not a whole bunch of directional movement here. I could see this starting to drift higher. I could see us breaking the high and just starting the slow grind to the upside here. But I'm not convinced either way. I'm really not. I was unbiased all day. Long to the downside would have played really nicely. Just didn't get it today. Now at this point, we start breaking highs. I'm gonna look for the short, but I don't really know on this. This is a back and forth session. I wouldn't say terribly choppy because we are trending once we start to trend here on the 1 minute chart for quite a while. But this is kind of back and forth so far. Chop Friday. I like your short idea from the 10s to the 15s. We have lower highs and lower lows on higher time frames. Yep. Blake's with me. Ryan says long America. Short it to below, then the depths of hell. There we go. Rich boy trades, kids running around. Hey, listen, man, go be with your family. Have a great weekend, man. Have a great weekend. It's Friday, so my guess is a choppy day with a daily doji at the end. There you go. Yep, I could absolutely see that. A lot of Fridays, we kind of get this like slow grind. It takes forever to like do whatever it's going to do, and then we either are going to drift lower or drift higher. Maybe that's just an unhealthy bias that I carry that I've kind of like I've been stuck fading or trying to get in on slow grind Fridays. But yeah, you guys are pretty back and forth. 64% say long America, not by a whole lot. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, good responses. I could see it going either way. I wouldn't mind fading an impulsive pop to the upside. We got the 10s. We got the 10s that have been here for a minute. Let's see what happens as we start to try these highs. Ooh, that's some volume. Yeah, I'm going to look to get into one if we start to crack to the upside. Again, dynamic with these prop accounts is, in a live account, it doesn't matter if your own personal account, it doesn't matter if you trade for a certain amount of days or a certain amount of profitable days. So it does add a dynamic where you have to take trades to a degree. Now you can wait as long as you want and take them. There's no time limit. But I would like to continue to rack up trading days on these accounts if I work towards a payout, hopefully, that I'm actually able to take it and I don't have to just continue to try to take profitable trading days or anything like that. So waiting to see if we can get a little bit further of a push to the upside. If not, I'm probably going to wait until I'm probably going to have to scalp one with you guys on here because I just want to stick to it. I want to either not trade these or try to trade them live. I got too many other accounts to trade not live, so I don't have to trade everything not live. Okay, here we go. Cracking the 10s, filling some liquidity right there. Do we push right through? Do we push right through and start to run? $308's on the book. 308 at 12. Yeah, I'm going to look for the 15s, guys. That's my game plan. Let's see. Let's see if I get stuck in another one of these situations where I get real close. Like real close. We got 308 now at 15s. I said I was looking from about the 10s to the 15s. We wicked into that. Filled some liquidity at the 10s. We got 312 now. Oh, no, it's pulled. It's pulled. So they don't want to get filled there. Gonna wait for this pop up, sweep these highs from the session, and then look for a reversion back in. We sell off from here and just come all the way back down. I'm gonna call it. We come back down below this low before we sweep these highs and give me an entry. That's as patient as I can be, and I'm gonna have to go touch grass. I'm gonna know my limit. So I'm gonna wait for the 15s. That's my level, right? We don't hit the 15s, we get close. Cool. No trade, no entry, whatever. I have 2 of them that get really close and we reject. And, just today, I'm not getting my levels hit. Can't complain. If I start to adjust because I missed one level on one trade, but all of the other ones, all week worked, I don't think that's a great way to make adjustments. So that's my play. We reject from here really harshly before we do it, which it looks like we're about to. I'm going to call it and maybe just try to scalp a tick or two while not violating a 10-second rule. That's going to be my game plan. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what ES has got for me if it's going to play with me nonstop. Four-hour tracement, look for long. Yep. AJ Capital. Yep. Sigma VWAP and VWMA. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but yep. Let's see what we get out of ES. Looks like it's going to be the same. My gut tells me that we're not going to hit my level, and we're gonna pull back down to like the 6,000s or the 95s from here, and it's just going to be one of those sessions. I think that's what we get. I really do. But like I'm doing right now, I'm going to wait patiently and not just react on just crazy speculation. So let's see. Let's see what we get here. AD's going to bed. Have a great weekend. Volume weighted moving average. Nice. Cool. Very cool. Let's see what else. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. When do you switch to September? So when do the contracts roll, or when do I switch? So here on Project X, a really nice thing is these roll automatically. You can't be on the wrong contract because there's only one contract for ES, the M25 right now. I think the roll is coming up. Is it coming up on like Monday or Tuesday? For ES, for CME? Let's see. See what the CME site says. Because if you are on, your own brokerage or just a different platform, you do have to make sure that you're on the right contract. For me, I think an easy way to make sure that you're not on the wrong contract is you can Google it, it'll pop right up, but it's the CME Group website, volume and open interest. If volume and open interest is not the highest on the contract that you're trading, you're on the wrong contract. So you can see volume and open interest for, whatever contract you want to look at. Once all of the volume and open interest shifts to the new current contract, that's your role right there. Most of the platforms kind of let you know also. So it's showing, so from the site, 2025, it's showing 620 for the expiration, 616 is the roll. What is that? Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, Monday. So we're coming into rollover, and that could be affecting price action coming into Monday as well. So that's going to be interesting. Could be affecting it now since we're coming into it, but that'll be interesting. But yeah, benefit of Project X, you can't be on the wrong contract. Pretty sweet. How can you add the volume you have on your chart? So I have 2 on my chart. This one right here, over on the right-hand side, is visible range volume profile. VRVP or VPVR, volume profile visible range, or visible range volume profile. Under the indicators tab, this volume down here is traditional volume. This is just the standard VOL indicator. Both of these are under the indicators tab on Project X or TradingView. But that's what this one's called. Visible range volume profile or volume profile visible range. I can't remember the exact name. Nice. Plus 500 does roll over too. Awesome. Blake short from 12, stop at 22, take profit at 92. Nice. Blake, yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm waiting patiently with you guys, waiting for the pop. See if we get the sell-off for you, Blake. Nice and early here. Solid entry so far. Testing these highs. I'm looking at that crack to 15s, but again, I might be just waiting for something that's not coming today. Might be waiting for something that's not coming today. We got liquidity there sitting. I'd like to see that. Run a 10-point stop with one mini. 6,000s, 6,002s have liquidity to the downside as we come back into that area of high volume that I could see. Not bad for a quick little pullback. Even if we're going to blast off, I think we're likely to pull back first. So that's what I'm going to go for. But this is going to be a really short scalpy type of trade. I'm going to drag stop loss to break even super quick, and either generate a small break even or a win or a loss, because it could just rocket to a stop loss always, right? So let's see. There we go. Oh, there's the 15s. That's aggressive. That's very aggressive. Sitting patiently. A lot of volatility came in on that one. Cracked right through it. I don't know that I want to dive in front of it. There's the 15s that traded out. We blasted to the 17s. Almost hit the 20 that was up there. That's a lot of volatility right there. Let's see. Do I want to dive in front of that? Coming right back down so far, but there's a lot of sell orders now on the book right above. Let's see. Wow. Heavy volume traded on that one. Yeah, liquidity now starting to build to the upside. Waiting patiently because that's why I don't set a limit order. I want to wait to see what happens. I'm getting ready to enter very aggressively. Here we are at the 15s now, starting to fill some orders to the upside. But that's a heavy move. That's a very different way to get to this level. Let's see, okay, so we filled some back at 15. 10-point stop up here. 25s. Is this the start of the slow day grind? Slow Friday grind to the upside?
Order filled.
I'm going to try it from here, guys. Like I said, half risk. I'm going to go stop loss extremely quick. Extremely quick if it's under 10 seconds so I don't get a violation here. Yep, I'm short with a stop loss at break even. I'm trailing down on this.
Filled.
And I'm out. I'm out. Very, 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 like I said, very, very quick scalpy trade. We started to reject nice and harshly here. Out for 72 bucks. Just logging a trading day really on this one. Still waiting patiently for a level, not just jumping in and trying to scalp something stupid. I don't like the way that broke at all. That's super aggressive. Heavy volume traded, heavy positive cumulative volume delta. A lot of orders up above. So I don't know that we come back down on this at all. Jumped in after my level was hit. Stop loss was initially going to come down to the $500 level, 10 points with one mini. Trailed into profit very, very quickly, and it was actually getting ready to drop it to break even and then start to trail, but we started to sell off pretty quickly. Trailed out for $72 across 7 accounts. That's going to be it for me, guys. I'd like to actually log the $150 day that I need to log a profitable trading day, but I'm not going to push it. Logging a trading day is fine. I'm good with that. So anyway, guys, waited nonstop for that one. Long enough, in and out, quick win, nothing to write home about at all, right? Again, kind of an interesting dynamic with these is actually having to trade. Can't just get it all done in 1 or 2 days. So in any event, there we go, looking for long, solid. Thanks, Zach. Win's a win. Yeah, no complaints, right? The fun part about this is 72.20 across 7 accounts. That's a nice $500 profit in these accounts. Yeah, no, again, not a lot at all. More like a break even, right? Small green break even. Anyway, guys, frustrating start to the session. If you go back and watch, if you missed it, very, very close to a beautiful long setup with full risk. Quick win logged on the way out. Really just so I can continue to trade these guys live with you. I'm not going to touch them the rest of the day. Come back on Monday and see what we can do. But in any event, Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Before we do that, live 9:30 a.m. Eastern, all of the rest of to start next week. Let me slow myself down. 9:30 a.m. Eastern, live here on YouTube, Monday through Wednesday. Got a couple awesome new guests coming on the show Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. It's going to be sweet. Thursday, Friday, I'm away from the desk. It is a U.S. holiday. I actually didn't realize, I wasn't remembering that 19th is a holiday. Thursday, everything is closed. Probably, I'm not going to be trading live Friday. I might get some trading in from my remote location, but I'll be back then. The Monday after that, and we run it live every damn day from there. If you guys want to hop in the Discord, hop in the Discord. You guys want to check out Top 1 Futures. The link is in the chat. It's pinned. 55% off, better than any deal on the email, on the website, anything that's posted on their site. Go check it out for yourself. Remember, I'm biased. Can't stand to be unbiased. If I stand to make money, do your own research, make your own decisions. Quick disclaimer that I always do at the start and end of all of these. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube for entertainment purposes only. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that I was just talking about that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, bookmap, and others. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great trading week. Hope you have a good Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. Pray for peace in the Middle East and everywhere else in the world. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Be easy.